The youth go out to dinner and have a drink at the closing of the sun's dance of the day. The glowing of the lights illuminate towers filled with rooms. In each room of each tower, you imagine the life scenario of whomever it contains. Maybe a businessman staying back to finish some reports, whilst he calls his wife and tells her he will be home in an hour with takeaway dinner. Or maybe it's a young couple having just moved into their first apartment as they share a red wine on the terrace. Or maybe it's a youthful intern who has snuck into one of the offices to work all night on a new screenplay about dinosaurs and space travel that is sure to launch his career, where he will meet his future wife when the time is right. Or maybe it's an overseas diplomat in town on business who has just been dropped back to the hotel with his mistress of the city via a dark, tinted window government car. As the doorman takes her coat and escorts their bags to a 2-story room on the middle floor with a queen-sized bed at the top and big balcony at the bottom. Or maybe it's a young lady having just moved to the city following university graduation to an entry-level position at a skyscraping law firm. She has rented a tiny room above a clothing store on a busy urban bohemian street, and her elderly landlady lives down the hall. Maybe this landlady is old-fashioned and doesn't like her closing her door if a young man happens to visit. As a result, the girl converses via message with her colleague love interest. They caught each other's eye during induction as they commenced employment on the same day. The young man starting out as a coffee runner for the partners of the firm as she commences secretary duty, hoping to gain experience and move into a legal position herself one day. But tonight, the young man climbs the shop canopy and sneaks through the window so that the landlady doesn't know that he is there. Their relationship doomed not to last, but for this moment they are together. Every light in every room in every city is just a moment captured in time. The streets contain faces half hidden by darkness, as their most prominent facial features illuminated by the city lights and neon glows of yellow, red, blue, purple, or green. The construction workers busy well into the night, with echoing hand tools banging up against newly constructed metallic framing around concrete cinderblocks, resembling a shell of the illuminated moments of the night they will eventually come to represent in the near future. Maybe in summer, maybe in winter. The streets are roamed by exhausted corporate workers on the way home from the gym in fitness wear or corporate attire with a peacoat to keep extra warm. Maybe it's a beautiful woman glancing into your eyes as you pass her by, completely unaware of her physical surroundings, only her social and financial circumstances and her mental exhaustion from a draining day of office triviality, human triviality, but alas, beautiful in that moment as she awaits on the sidewalk to cross the road, winds carrying her hair across her face on a winter night. A homeless man walks past looking for half-smoked cigarettes as he drinks hard liquor from his hip flask, reduced to the streets following wrongful expulsion from a master's in musical composition. A once prodigy piano player, mastering a repertoire covering the fierce tempos of JS Bach during the Baroque, pre-classical era, all the way through to the surreal, post-impressionistic harmonies of Claude Debussy. Forced to become the monster he was wrongly accused of being, having had illegal substances planted in his room by a jealous student, a less talented contemporary whom he had tried to help by offering free tuition of a night time to boost his chances of gaining a scholarship to the conservatorium following senior year. But this jealous student knew they only offered one per year, and it was our now homeless man who was unquestionably going to receive it. Not anymore. Following the now homeless man's expulsion, this jealous student received the scholarship for lack of competition and never looked back in regret, as our homeless man, drunk out of his mind, mutters incoherent sorrow in the gutter. Having come from nothing, he had nothing to go back to after his unjust failure. Behind him is a bar restaurant serving burgers and beer, a hot spot for young professionals. Behind the bar a girl works, pulling beers and wiping the counter. Paying her way through senior year at college, her communication skills have become polished from her hospitality tenure. Dreaming of the day she never has to serve another customer again, she closes up alone after a busy night. Just her, the jukebox, and a dim-lit empty room with chairs upside down on tables sharing the graveyard shift. These are the moments of the night. Every moment brings a new circumstance created by the past, traveling down its own unique path towards the future. Couples come together for a time and become alone some time later. Lonely people find a companion. Old they all grow, out of their genes and youth, passing the baton on to their kin to repeat the exact dance of life during a superficially updated version down the track in the future. But for now, each night and each light offers unforgettable visions that pass by in unique moments of time in which the participating parties are completely unaware of any significance whatsoever.